Get ready for high-stakes action, because Mikel Arteta must decide how much he can afford to rotate when Arsenal hosts Fulham on Saturday evening. We break down the crucial team news, the predicted lineup, and the latest injury updates surrounding Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, and the uncertainty surrounding Kai Havertz and Jurrien Timber. This is the essential preview you need to know before kickoff.
Never get caught with a dead phone again. This INIU portable charger is compact, travel-friendly, and gives you fast 45-watt charging with a built-in USB-C cable, so there's no need to carry extra cords. With 10,000 mAh power, it's perfect for busy days, trips, emergencies, or anytime your battery drops too low. Grab yours on Amazon through the link in the comments before your phone hits 1%.
Next up, we dive deep into the controversial decisions that rocked the Champions League semi-final tie. We examine why Mikel Arteta was furious about the overturned penalty decision for Eberechi Eze, and we break down the complex differences between the Premier League handball laws and UEFA regulations, looking at the case of Ben White and the rulebook interpretation. The title race is heating up, and we look at how this weekend's fixtures impact the entire landscape. We analyze the tension surrounding Arsenal's position, Manchester City's status, and the potential twists coming from Fulham and Everton, while also tracking the major battles involving Liverpool, Manchester United, and Tottenham in the fight for European spots. Finally, we look at the bigger picture drama, including Chris Sutton's reaction to what he called being absolutely robbed in the Champions League semi-final, and what this means for Arsenal's path forward. Don't miss a single moment of this explosive weekend action, so stay locked in for all the updates. Arsenal faces a crucial Premier League fixture against Fulham on Saturday evening, a match pivotal in the title race as Arsenal seeks to establish a 6-point lead over Manchester City. The contest comes amidst their Champions League semi-final tie against Atletico Madrid. Manager Mikel Arteta faces a tough decision regarding rotation strategy for the game. Key attacking players Bukayo Saka and Eberechi Eze are expected to feature in the starting lineup this weekend, following their bench appearances in the first leg. Saka, who has not started since the Carabao Cup final, needs to rediscover his peak form after 2 substitute appearances. Defensive and midfield adjustments are anticipated. There is speculation about changes at fullback positions, with Ricardo Calafiori providing fresh legs and potentially allowing Piero Hincapié rest. Arteta is expected to maintain his core midfield pairing of Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi. While Miles Lewis-Skelly gained some minutes against Newcastle, his starting role is considered unlikely. Significant concerns surround Kai Havertz, who is listed as a major doubt due to a muscle injury sustained in the previous fixture. Furthermore, the fitness of Jurrien Timber remains uncertain, as he has yet to return to full first-team training following an ankle injury that has sidelined him for 9 matches. Martin Odegaard also showed signs of concern, coming off early in the second half against Atletico with treatment on the touchline, prompting hope that this is not another injury issue. Arteta is scheduled to deliver a comprehensive team news update at his pre-match press conference on Friday afternoon. The predicted Arsenal XI is a 4-2-3-1 formation featuring Raya, Mosquera, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori at the back, Rice and Zubimendi in midfield, and Saka, Odegaard, and Eze in attack, with Gyökeres as the central striker. Merino is listed as injured, while Havertz and Timber are considered doubts. The match is set for 5:30 p.m. BST at the Emirates Stadium, broadcast on Sky Sports. Arsenal secured a 1-1 draw against Atletico Madrid, positioning them as favourites to advance to the Champions League final, with Mikel Arteta confident that a home victory would suffice. The match was marked by 2 significant, controversial penalty decisions that highlighted the divergence in handball interpretations between the Premier League and UEFA competitions. Arteta expressed frustration over a penalty decision for Eberechi Eze being overturned following a VAR review, stating, "You can't overturn it when you have to watch it 13 times." This followed Atletico equalizing via a penalty scored by Julian Alvarez past David Raya. The key point of contention centered on a penalty awarded to Ben White after a shot deflected off his shin onto his arm. Arteta acknowledged the difference in officiating standards, noting, "In the Premier League, it's not a penalty, but here I have to accept that with the rules and how consistent they've been. For example, yesterday with Bayern Munich, I accept that this is a handball." He added, "They applied the rules on Ben White's penalty. That is difficult to accept, but it is a penalty with a handbook." The disparity stems from the distinct rules governing handball in each competition. Premier League regulations emphasize a more lenient approach, guided by principles stating that not every touch of the arm is an offense, and that deflection must result in a significant change in trajectory to warrant a penalty. Officials have greater discretion in applying these rules case by case. Conversely, UEFA competitions maintain a much stricter, hardline stance on handball decisions within the box, demanding a higher threshold for deflection to warrant a penalty. This difference was underscored by a previous incident involving Alphonso Davies, who conceded a penalty after a cross deflected onto his arm near his side, demonstrating the harsher application of UEFA's standards. While unpopular, the stricter UEFA rules are noted for their consistency. The Premier League title race is entering a critical phase, characterized by razor-thin margins and high-stakes matchups across the league, Champions League spots, and relegation battles. Manchester City remains 3 points behind Arsenal, with a game in hand after missing their league fixture due to an FA Cup semi-final win. The immediate focus is on Saturday's clash between Fulham and Arsenal, where a victory would give Arsenal a 6-point lead over City. The fixture presents intrigue, as Fulham is in 10th place and has shown resilience, while Everton, playing at their new stadium, faces a challenging run of recent losses, but is positioned to provide a twist. Analysts suggest that despite Manchester City's current lead, Arsenal holds a strong position, with the ebb and flow of the season promising significant shifts. Arsenal, having played their Champions League semi-final leg, cannot afford caution, with both major prizes within reach. Questions of fatigue, home advantage, and goal difference will heavily influence the outcome. Both Fulham and Everton are defensively organized, having conceded similar numbers of goals this season. The weekend slate intertwines title aspirations with European qualification hopes and the fight against relegation. Elsewhere in the Premier League, the battle for the final Champions League positions is heating up. Liverpool, maintaining a strong run of form, is neck and neck with Chelsea, with a 3-win streak for the Reds contrasting with 5 consecutive losses for the Blues. Aston Villa is level on points with Liverpool, but trails in goal difference, while Brighton remains 8 points behind the top spot. Liverpool's matches against Manchester United, Chelsea, and Villa will be pivotal in securing a top 4 finish. The relegation fight is equally dramatic. Tottenham and Aston Villa face significant pressure, with both teams having major implications for their Champions League status. Nottingham Forest, despite a recent FA Cup final win, faces a struggling Chelsea, who are desperately seeking an interim manager to claw back into the Champions League spots. Meanwhile, Newcastle faces uncertainty following Eddie Howe's departure, with recent losses compounding their struggles in 14th place. The schedule is packed with drama. Friday features Leeds versus Burnley. Saturday includes Brentford versus West Ham, Newcastle versus Brighton, Wolves versus Sunderland, and the key Arsenal versus Fulham fixture. Sunday highlights include Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace, Manchester United versus Liverpool, and Aston Villa versus Tottenham. Monday concludes the weekend with Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest and Everton versus Manchester City. This weekend promises to be a defining period for several clubs, with numerous matches bearing significant weight on their season trajectories. Chris Sutton has strongly criticized Arsenal following a 1-1 draw against Atletico Madrid in the first leg of their Champions League semi-final, claiming the team was absolutely robbed. Arsenal entered the match as favorites, but Atletico Madrid displayed significant resilience, neutralizing Arsenal's attacking intent and maintaining a tight defensive structure throughout the contest. The match was characterized by a deadlock, with both sides canceling each other out. A pivotal moment arose when Arsenal were awarded a second penalty that could have secured a victory. However, A subsequent VAR review overturned the decision, leading to widespread frustration among players and supporters who questioned the validity of the reversal. Sutton voiced significant dissatisfaction, stating that while merits could be debated, the outcome left Arsenal in an unbelievable position heading into the second leg, suggesting they have substantial work ahead. He concluded that the team felt hard done by. Despite the setback caused by the controversial decision, Arsenal must now regroup and prepare for a challenging return leg at the Emirates Stadium. Despite the emotional blow, a spot in the final remains within reach for the Gunners.